Oh, okay.
Gemini AI. Okay, nice. We have. Okay, I think we should start with the session, and maybe we can continue about our topics of discussions later on once we get like once we feel like we need to take a break or something like that. So, few things. I hope everyone has already hopped on the Discord channel and joined the Build Week channel. That is where we'll be discussing or making announcements around everything that is associated with Build Week. All the queries that you have, if you're stuck on some part of the code, all of it will be there. So make sure you join that. And C2 has already put in the Discord link. Again, for people who have joined right now, this is the course link. So make sure that you've enrolled here, and we'll be covering certain segments today. We are the kind of structure that we have in mind. We will not be doing like a lot of hand holding. We would want you to explore it on your own, but we would love to give you an overview. And once you're done with the session, maybe you can move forward with completing those assignments and quizzes that you have in the way. And make sure that with every succession sessions that we are doing, you have already completed the previous segments, because obviously the course is designed in such a manner that you have certain set of assignments and certain quizzes. Only on successful completion of those you can move to the next module, right? So make sure that you do that as well. And don't forget about what we discussed about building in public. We will be closely observing your progress throughout the week, and we'll have like special attention on the maybe social media posts, be it Twitter or whatever platform that you would like to. Twitter is something that we really prefer, so we would love to see a learning thread after every session, or like after you have completed with or are you done with the particular session for the day. And yes, obviously you can put your tweet link so that others can take inspiration, they can get idea on how they can move forward with the content, maybe try doing something different. Anything and everything which is in the guidelines is welcomed. But make sure that whatever you're putting your time in is beneficial for you as well as the community that is looking into that content. Cool. So everyone, I hope you guys are ready for today's session. A quick thumbs up for those who are ready and basically are fine with us going forward, if you don't have anything else to discuss. Okay, I got 2 thumbs up. Come on, we need more energy. It's a Sunday, I know, and a lot of people might have had Sunday plans, but yeah, I mean, we're doing something much more interesting, much more important. So yes, please, some energy, please. Okay. What's the day's plan? Yes, so I'll be there's nothing more important. Greg, I love the enthusiasm that he has. Okay. Um oh, Michael already has a Twitter thread. Nice. Cool. So I'll be sharing my screen, and we will be starting with the session. So basically, the idea today is diving into the basics of Q blockchain, talk a bit around maybe their consensus mechanism and how they're working around DAOs and governance, and then get into setting up MetaMask with the Q testnet on it, um, and writing a DAO using Solidity, trying to deploy it. But I mean, it's a long code, and we'll give you like a quick run through the code, and we would want you to write it on your own. I mean, all of the code is already available on our platform, but give me a minute.
Hey, yeah. So join 15. Yeah, we're just getting started, so don't worry. So we're just explaining the whole course plan and stuff. So also continue to do post your questions in Discord if you want. Like, the Discord chat is also up. Oh, I mean, Shubham, that's the general Indian story. Everybody is in Scrum. That's yeah, totally understand. Nice, Stephen. Hi, Akash. Yeah. Hey guys, we are just about to get started with the lesson. So yeah.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Some unwanted situations. Okay. So yeah. So I was telling you that we will be writing the code for the DAO, see what all basic functionalities we can add in it. And it's a lot of lines of code. So, you need to give some time and try to understand it and write on your own. And the whole of the deployment will be happening on Remix. Okay. So cool. Let's get started. And a disclaimer, I do not want to be the only one who's speaking during the sessions. So anyone who is interested to talk or who is, who wants to like say something about a particular topic and anything, you can drop it in the chat. Setu will be looking at the chats continuously, and he can give me a heads up that yes, a particular person wants to talk about it, and then you can go forward, right? So yeah, we'll try to make it a little interactive because it feels really weird talking to the computer screen. That's the only option we have as of now. So everyone, you guys can see my screen, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sagar. Okay, cool. So I hope everyone has enrolled in the course. This is the first page that will be visible to you guys. Okay, so first we will talk about what are we building, right? Anybody who has the answer to this question? I mean, all of you guys should have after the commencement call, but anyone who's interested to answer? No one's interested. Oh yeah, thank you, Getson. Thank you. Thank you for reciprocating for my energy. Okay, yes. So what we'll be building throughout the week is a DAO using Q blockchain, right? And we've already given you a flow chart on how we'll be going forward with the whole week, how we'll first learn to, create a DAO using Solidity, and then how we'll see that using the Q blockchain, how that particular lengthy process is done within minutes. So yes, the first few sections will be around understanding Q blockchain and what are the problems it's solving. We'll be building a game DAO, and I mean, basically first without QGDK and then after using the QGDK. And we will be adding an airdrop functionality to our Q factory DAO. Okay, cool. So this section, who exactly should take this course? Everybody who's interested to learn about Web3, has a basic knowledge of blockchain, maybe understands Solidity as a programming language, has little idea of the various consensus mechanism, can take the course. So consensus mechanism. Anybody who can tell me what are the consensus mechanisms they know about, and maybe share a line or two around that mechanism. Okay, a mechanism or rules to agree upon something. POW, POS. Tushar, would you like to elaborate on what POW and POS is? I mean, guys, you can obviously speak up. It's fine. It is not important to just write in the chats. Just make sure that you either have your hands raised or you put up a message that you want to speak and then go forward with it. Yes, proof of work, proof of stake. Anybody who would want to explain what proof of work and proof of stake is? Come on, you're behind computer screens. You can search and still speak. Miners solve cryptographic puzzles and gets rewarded. DPoS. Okay. Tirumala, if you can tell me what DPoS is. Okay, so Lynn basically explained what proof of work is. How many of you are aware that Ethereum initially used proof of work as their consensus mechanism and then shifted to another one, I think probably last year or a little before than that? I don't exactly, yes, shifted to POS. Anybody who can explain me what POS is? It's more environmentally friendly than POW. Yes, obviously. So as Lynn said, right, when we're talking about proof of work, everything around blockchain works on, huge cryptographic puzzles. There's a lot of computation. Every transaction, every block that we're trying to put in the chain, all of it needs, these cryptographic puzzle to be solved. And there are people with pure setup of devices with like huge computational power and everything who are trying to solve these puzzles, and in turn of that they get rewarded. So it's basically lot of people trying to work towards a single thing, and whosoever does it first validates the block, they get rewarded. So it obviously required like a lot of energy, and there was a lot of controversy around it, that it's not environment friendly because electricity consumption and these resources, a lot of it was being utilized. So these guys shifted to proof of stake. Okay, and if you check the chat, proof of stake is a consensus protocol in blockchain. It is a way to decide which users validate new blocks of transactions and earn a reward for doing so correctly. So if you have to talk about it in layman terms, it's basically proof of stake is basically you have certain amount of tokens with you, and based on those tokens you have like certain set of authorities to take part in certain decision making or validating a transaction or so, right? So I think for Ethereum ecosystem, it's 32 ETH, right? I mean, I can be wrong. If I'm wrong with any of the datas, please correct me. But yes, for proof of stake, it's 32 ETH, right? Miners are selected based on their staking power to validate a block. So all of those extra consumption of electricity and all of that was obviously removed. Not entirely removed, but yes, I mean shifted. So yes, cool. Now talking about what we will be getting out of this project, I've already explained it to you. Build a DAO using Solidity, build a DAO in minutes with Q's DAO tool, learn to add important functions to your DAO like airdrop, and then finally get rewarded in form of USDC and Q to complete this course. Now, why we've come up with this feature is because we feel that Web3 revolves a lot around incentivization, and everyone who is putting their energy into it should be incentivized. So yeah, that is why this whole learn and earn program with the build week. Cool. Proof of completion, obviously, these are something that we would not discuss. This was for the early people who completed the course. We will be moving to the next section, introduction to Q blockchain. Okay. So technically speaking, even yesterday while we were discussing around Q blockchain, we know that it's an independent blockchain, public, open source, decentralized, obviously fulfilling all those criteria that a blockchain has to be when it comes to decentralization and being open source and all of that. And it is an independent blockchain which is based on EVM. It allows you to write smart contracts in Solidity, build dApps, mostly around DAOs, and have the same tokens and other applications around it. So talking about another consensus mechanism, Q blockchain uses delegated proof of stake consensus mechanism and has its own native tokens as Q tokens. So a quick round of information. Anybody who can tell me what delegated proof of stake is? Come on, it's fine. Google and just tell me what a delegated proof of stake is. Is an extension of POS where participants vote for a small number of delegates who are responsible for validating transactions and creating new blocks. It aims to improve efficiency and speed. Very good. Thumbs up, fire for Tirumala, obviously. So again, the name itself, delegated proof of stake. So it has to be something around proof of stake, but like maybe a more extensive or an advanced form of it, right? He is very well written, the answer that here we're basically talking about participants voting for a small number of delegates. Now, if we try to join the dots here, since we are talking about DAO, it has to be people and, whatever transactions we are validating, whatever proposal we are putting it, we want it to be quite efficient and happen in a speedy manner. So Q blockchain is using DPoS as the consensus mechanism, in order to carry forward all these transactions. Getson says voting someone to or another party to validate on behalf. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So now, since the consensus mechanism itself revolves around efficiency and speed, that would definitely be a part of what all problem is Q trying to solve, right? So, with the huge set of blockchains that we have currently, there is something or the other that differentiates these blockchain in terms of features, and that is why they are existing independently rather than all of them being one. Unless you're trying to solve a new problem, it's very hard for anything to exist, right? So talking about what problem exactly Q is trying to solve is, first is low gas fees. So Q blockchain has very low transaction fees that can be easily predicted compared to other blockchains. Ethereum gas fees are shooting very, very high. People who are doing day-to-day transactions on mainnet are well aware of it. So yeah, that is one segment that Q is trying to solve. Another one is fast transaction. Obviously, their consensus mechanism is revolving around speed. So it has to be something around fast transactions as well. So Q offers fast and reliable transactions. The whole transaction set gets processed in few seconds. Slowly and steadily, as we move towards, creating these proposals for the DAO, you will see how fast the execution happens, right? Um, Enforceable contracts. The Q blockchain allows to have contracts that can force people to do certain tasks. And these kinds of contracts are highly usable in businesses where two businesses do like a certain kind of contract with each other and enforce each other to follow certain types of conditions and rules. Okay, summing this whole thing, enforceable contracts, right? Why do you think would there be a need for someone to perform an action forcibly or follow a certain set of conditions or rules? Anybody? Use your brains, give me the answer. Why do you think enforceable contracts is being highlighted as a feature for the Q blockchain? Anybody? Okay, how many of you think that um, to eliminate middlemen like bond papers? Yes, obviously. But why do you think we are talking about, I mean, you and me sign a contract and, certain, okay, ignore that noise. It's fine. So certain set of contracts have to be followed. So imagine that when we're talking about DAOs and governance in the whole community, right? If there are no set of rules that are being followed, things can just get out of hand. People can just be like, okay, fine, I will do what I want. It's my community. Any community that you pick up, right? If even if you look at Meta School Discord community, right, there are certain set of community guidelines that needs to be followed in order to like maintain the decorum of the whole set of people that are there in the ecosystem, right? So these bonds or these in general contract conditions that we're talking, this has to be an important criteria, or else whatever we're trying to follow will will not be executed properly. The fourth point here is governance. Q blockchain offers great governance framework. This framework makes things predictable. You know exactly how the system works and evolves, which makes it easier to understand and manage, right? So talking about DAOs, it is all around how the whole governance thing is working and how everything, every decision, every proposal that is being executed is very, very transparent to the community for the whole community to take part in it, right? So the framework that Q blockchain has made around governance is very, very transparent. So everyone who is a part of the ecosystem knows how the whole system is working, right? Okay. Why build a DAO on Q blockchain? Now, the why is totally dependent on how you would like to take it, right? We feel that as a starting blockchain developer, everyone starts with making an ERC20 token or so, and moving forward to an intermediate level project. Creating a DAO from scratch is something that should definitely be on your portfolio. So yeah, and Q blockchain, because it's saving us a lot of efforts from our end. So yes, that's why. Okay, so anybody who knows the answer by adding which layer makes Q blockchain fast, cheap, and secure? Anybody? Anybody? QQ. Very nice. There's another set of discussion happening in the Discord chat. Okay, Greg says layer 2. Anyone else? Anyone else who would, we have talked a lot about this right now, that what makes Q blockchain fast, cheap, and secure. Come on, apart from Greg, anyone who knows the answer? No one knows the answer. Did we discuss something around consensus mechanism? Okay, so this question basically needs to be framed better, right? So the answer for this segment would be DPoS, because that is the consensus mechanism that these guys are following in order to make the blockchain fast, cheap, and secure. I mean, obviously, layer twos. Anybody can explain me what layer twos are? Everyone who's trying to answer this particular question, saying that L2 makes Q blockchain fast, cheap, and secure. Can anyone explain me their understanding of layer 2? Lightweight application on top of the layer 1 that are faster, built on top of blockchain. Okay, Getson, you're saying built on top of blockchain. So can you say, okay, side chains specifically, but you can't call Q blockchain a side chain, right? And Devashi says lightweight application on top of, yes, Getson, you can speak.
Hi, can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's actually very hard to define L2s, but they're easy to understand. Because before they were coming into existence, we had the main blockchains, and they had their own problems in terms of scalability, speed, transaction speeds, and all those problems. Then L2s were introduced, which were just solutions built on top of the blockchain's base layer, aiming to improve scalability and transaction efficiency. That's why it's like more of like side chains, and they basically just enable quick and very fast transactions. So basically L2, for example, check something like optimism. It's built on top of the main Ethereum layer, which is very expensive and slow for average user transactions. So L2 is just something that it's like an add-on on top of another blockchain. That's my understanding, to make it more efficient and fast.
Yes, so you have like a very clear understanding of what layer 2 actually means, right? And you quoted a right example of optimism being a layer 2, right? There are so many layer 2s which are built on top of these blockchains to maybe like give a better solution, like Starknet being one of them, right? But do you feel that Q blockchain is a layer 2?
No, I can't say Q blockchain is an L2.
Yes.
It's an L1. It's a base layer on itself.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
and actually, that's why it's more fascinating to me, because it's the main layer, and it still manages to solve the issues that were written in the old, not the old, but the premier blockchains like Ethereum.
L1,
So
yeah, L1s
L1.
are
So,
placed.
so Q
Yes.
I'd say it's an L1 that is behaving like an L2 combined together. So it's a good thing.
Yes.
It's a main layer.
So yeah, true. So yeah, Q is, Ashwin gave us the right answer. Q is a layer 1 and layer 2 means having a child chain of L1 which posts the transactions on L1 periodically as a batch of transaction, reducing the computation on L1, thus reducing gas fees, right? So it can be like a whole discussion around the roll-ups and layer 2s and how they're improving all of this. But Q blockchain is a layer 1, right? It's not a layer 2. So for this question, by adding which layer makes Q blockchain fast, cheap, and secure, the answer would be, actually this question needs to be framed like in a different manner, right? It was basically to confuse you guys. The answer here is delegated proof of stake. We could have maybe written that, okay, what is it that makes Q blockchain fast, cheap, and secure? But we felt like a little confusion would help you like explore a little more. So yes, so you guys can go forward by submitting the answer as delegated proof of stake. Maybe explore around a little more around the consensus mechanism and how things are working around it, and then go forward with it, right? Okay, don't look at my response. Cool. Okay, so the next section is how does Q blockchain actually work, right? And this is like one of the most favorite sections of mine for this course because it has like good analogies with football and everything is tried to explain in like a very simple manner. How many football fans do we actually have here? Like crazy football fans. Okay, I see John saying a thumbs up. Anybody else? Football fans? In the later part of the section, we will see how the analogy with the football game is done here. But right now, we will talk about the pillars of the Q protocol. And as you can see, we're talking about 3 pillars here, right? The first one is constitute, that is revolving around rules. Okay, the second one is enforce, that is sort of, can be addressed as referees. And the third is resolve, anything around disputes, right? So if you see, when you talk about constitute, right, think of Q protocol as the set of rules for a football game. There has to be like an official rule book that every team agrees to follow. And in case you do not follow it, you have penalties and you'll be thrown out of the game, blah, blah, blah. Anything and everything can happen, right? So in order to ensure like a fair and consistent game for all players, we have certain set of rules. So similarly, Q also has certain set of rules that helps you create a foundation for everyone on Q to build and work together, right? So we will look into, how these rules and etc. work in the later section. The second segment here is enforce, that is referees. So in a football match, you have referees who enforce the rules. They watch the game closely, make sure that players don't break the rules. Similarly, in Q protocol, we have similar referees called validators and root nodes. So they will ensure that all the actions that are happening on field, that is on the Q blockchain, follows the rules, and those root nodes will help you enforce those rules, that nothing should go against whatever is mentioned in the rule book, right? And the third segment is where we are taking into consideration that there can be situations of disputes around it. So some players might argue about a decision or a foul. Consider that, while you're working or while you are a part of the DAO, a certain proposal has been, submitted, and there are some people who are in favor of the proposal, some people are against it. There might be a situation of dispute where people are not agreeing on whatever judgment has come in, right? So in the Q protocol, if there's like a dispute or a problem that the rules can't easily solve, participants basically take it to a higher authority like the International Chamber of Commerce. Heavy term, but yes, that is what they have tried, putting in to make sure that everything is pretty fair on their blockchain. So this authority acts like a fair judge, makes a decision to resolve the disputes, And then the root nodes come into picture again. They ensure that everyone follows the decision, just like, you know, how the third umpire's decision on the field is taken care of. Now, that was again a cricket analogy, but I know more about cricket than football, so yes. Oh, sorry. Cool. And all these three pillars, the best thing is all these three pillars include both on-chain and off-chain blockchain parts. On-chain means, okay, why will I tell you that? How many of you know what exactly on-chain and off-chain means for any blockchain? Not particularly around Q blockchain, but for any blockchain.
I don't know.
You don't know, okay? Anybody who knows what on-chain, off-chain here means? I mean, just I think the word enough itself is like pretty enough for you to at least give it a try. Even if you're wrong, it's fine, but maybe there's certain set of English words that give you an idea of what they can, you know, actually mean. So anybody who can explain or try on-chain off? Yes. So Lynn is saying that on-chain transactions are on the blockchain and off-chain is happening in real life. Real life means stored somewhere else and referenced from there. Yes. So again, on-chain, all the set of transactions that are happening on-chain is basically being recorded on the blockchain, right? So anybody and everybody can access those transactions with the transaction hash or any data around that transaction, right? But off-chain, that data does not go on the blockchain, right? For everything that you are, you know, trying to do, just consider a real life scenario, right? You take like 1,000 selfies or 1,000 videos if you go on a trip, but you don't want to save all of that in your drive, or maybe even if it is there in your phone storage, you do not want to store it on drive, because you know if you start saving all the data that is being generated on your phone, you will run out of storage, and then buying that storage would be expensive, right? So you might just choose set of important photos, important videos, or important data that gets stored on the drive, so that you save storage as well as you have all the data protected, right? So exactly is the scenario here. We are not trying to put all the data on chain, because every transaction is going to be expensive, and it's like putting a lot of data or maybe doing like a data burdening on the protocol or the blockchain in general. So whatever data is not very useful and can be, you know, put off chain, we do it like locally in our systems. So certain transactions are happening locally, and only a proof of it or whatever is being uploaded to save yourself from the storage, from the expensive nature of transactions, right? Cool. So obviously Q blockchain is also supporting on-chain and off-chain paths. I hope you know, you have like a little bit understanding of how on-chain and off-chain works, right? Everything that we're trying to discuss here, we are not really diving deep into it, because that would take like a lot of our time. So make sure that you have your maybe notepad handy, or have like a notebook segment in your laptops open, so that all the jargon terms that you are coming across, be it consensus mechanism, be it on-chain, off-chain, whatever word seems difficult to you, you note it down and do like a quick run through or a thorough research or reading on it after the session. And then maybe you can have like great set of content for your Twitter thread as well, that this is what you learned in today's session, right? Cool. We will be going to the next section about how does the Q blockchain work, right? So now we've already talked about the three pillars that were constitute, enforce, and resolve. And now we'll see how all of these you know, blocks are coming together and helping you know, Q blockchain do whatever they're trying to do in terms of governance and DAOs and any sort of application that we can build on Q. So the first is governance framework, which can be, considered as an organization. So just like a football match has a field, referees and rules, the Q blockchain has a very, very strong structure that everyone agrees to. It keeps things organized. Certain set of structures that everyone who is a part of the blockchain has to follow. Then there's a rule book that we've already talked about. It tells everyone what is allowed, how decisions are to be made. Official playbook of the Q blockchain, mostly around to keep things transparent so that, even if you have questions, because you have the rule book in hand, why the certain thing took place, right? Third, we talked about validator nodes in general. So here, if you see in terms of football, these validator nodes are basically team players, and they're like special players on the field. They keep track of all the moves, transactions on the blockchain. They're basically validating these transactions. And in order to become a validator, you have to stake the highest number of Q tokens. Now, again, this staking is coming from the consensus mechanism that Q is trying to follow, right? Since it is following delegated proof of stake, that is where in order to become a validator, you need to stake certain amount of Q tokens, right? It's like a competition to become a validator node, and the ones with the most Q tokens get the position, right? Now, anybody who has like certain confusion around, how the staking thing works, you can take like a very basic Web2 example, where tomorrow, if I start a company of my own, right? And I have John and Setu and Ashwin and Greg and Getson, these people with me from the first day of me establishing the company, right? In future, once the whole product and the company is up and running, and I feel like, okay, I need to give these people a certain set of stocks, certain set of equity, whatever percentage, whatever tokens I'm talking about, right? I will award you with the maximum tokens because you guys have been there for me since day one, right? So it's basically like, okay, yeah, and I need now, since the company is growing, I need board of directors. Now, who should I choose the board of directors? People who have already believed in my organization from the day one shall be chosen as board of directors, or people who have certain set of equities or stocks of my company shall be the board of directors, right? So these people are the ones who will help me take a certain decision in the future regarding the company, right? It is not going to be entirely me now, right? So that is how this thing works. Anybody and everybody who wants to become a validator node for the Q blockchain has to possess the highest number of Q tokens, right? In order to get that position, in order to have a say in decision making for the blockchain. Same is with the DAO. Once you establish a DAO, you have a treasury, you have certain set of tokens for every contribution you've made, and slowly and steadily, as you have more and more tokens, you can also take part in, taking a major decision around the DAO. Now, the distribution of these positions is automatic, continuous, and anonymous. This means that anyone who has enough Q tokens can become a validator node without needing anyone's permission. It's open for anyone to participate. So you clearly see how decentralization is being followed, how transparent the blockchain is trying to, be in front of its users. That, okay, it's not like, okay, because Sneha is taking a session on Q blockchain, we'll give her like 1,000 tokens, right? It is like a continuous process. It's automatic, very anonymous. Anybody who is a part of this session, who is not a part of this session, who is working around Q, not working around Q, just exploring the ecosystem, you guys can, participate in getting the tokens, participate in becoming a validator. Once you qualify the certain criteria, you're in as a validator, okay? Now, the fourth segment that we're talking about is token holders, that is fans with influence. We've already discussed this in some manner. So token holders are basically fans with special powers. They can support their favorite players, that is validator nodes, by giving them tokens. In return, they get rewarded. Token holders can also suggest new rules or vote at them, just like the fans giving input on the them. So either it's like you have, if you have like certain tokens, so if you want to become a validator, you need like certain set of tokens, certain amount of tokens, right? But you might have like, maybe you need 32,000 token Q tokens to become a validator. And right now you have like 2,000 or something. But if I am running for being a validator, you're like, oh yeah, I like Sneha, I like her energy, I would like her to be a validator, so I'll support her with my tokens, right? So then you can just, you know, support me with your tokens. You can also suggest new rules or maybe vote for me, whatever you know, way you can contribute. It's, if you have the tokens, you have the right for it, right? And the fifth point that we're talking about is root nodes or referees. So they're basically, now once you're talking about referees, obviously their work is to, you know, make sure that the rules are followed and things are very fair and secure. If there's a dispute, you know, you have a decision making in hand. Now, dispute resolution mechanism. Imagine if there's a disagreement during the game, Q blockchain has a system. We already learned about it. Anybody who remembers what was the chamber that they used to go once the dispute cannot be resolved with the help of a referee? What?
VAR. VAR. VAR.
Oh, it was
VAR.
International
VAR.
Chamber of Commerce. International Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
Yes. So they have like higher authorities, more judges to dissolve, to, you know, decision to resolve the dispute.
So, I thought you meant football.
It's fine. So yeah, I mean, you guys need to pay a little more attention. And if I'm going too fast or too slow, just keep me updated. Now there's oh my god, my answer is visible. So there's this another quiz segment that talks about name the 3 pillars of Q blockchain. Anybody who can answer that question without scrolling to the top of the page? Anybody? Come on, tell me, anybody. I mean, I obviously can't see if you guys have scrolled or not, but oh yeah, Getson is my favorite student. He's like so active and so on point every time. It's like, okay, nobody speaks, I'll speak. The good kid of the class. Okay, yeah, Wayne is also answering. Nice. I love people who are responsive in an online class, because I was the responsive one during my college days. It's like, oh, I used to feel very bad for the professors. They're just talking and talking and talking and no one's caring about it. So yes. Cool, yeah, it's constitute, enforce, and resolve. Okay, so this segment is very, very small, and I will not do like a very thorough reading. I would want any one of you, I'll give you like probably a minute and a half to read through the whole page and then give me like a very brief about what have we actually tried to mention in the page. And your time starts now. 1.5 minutes, read through the section and explain what exactly have we tried explaining in this section. It's a water break for me. I have been speaking for so long.
Yeah, so I guess this is the basic definition of DAO, right? So yeah, just give us your best analogy of what a DAO is. or what do you understand from the term DAOs? No answer. I saw that a lot of you guys are working with DAOs. Okay. If any decision is made, it should get majority vote to qualify and get approved. Works like a parliament. Okay. Can we parliament that votes? Okay. Can we get a nice real world analogy? Or can you give an example? Okay, parliament. Okay, that's good. Any other real world stuff that you can own and say, okay, this is basically like a DAO. Let's go. Come on. Let's see who gets the creative points. Or all of us sticking with parliament. What's up? I think the concept of DAO is right. So the highest holder friends are deciding which restaurant to go. Okay, that's a fight. Yeah, that could be good. Friends,
Yes, I'm
okay.
done with my water break. Guys, it's time for you guys to be hydrated during the sessions. Oh, somebody wrote a big paragraph. So imagine a group of friends deciding where to eat dinner. Everyone throws in suggestion, argues a bit, and finally votes. Majority wins. Now imagine that, but instead of just dinner plans, it's a company making decisions, and instead of your unpredictable friends, it's a bunch of strangers on the internet. Welcome to the world of DAOs. Wow, I love that. Like giving a vote to pass any bill or any decision. Yes. Great analogy. Yes, I love it. Shantanu, great work. I feel his Twitter threads are going to be amazing in terms of content and analogies that he might come up with. I mean, I could be wrong technically, but in layman terms, I try every time. Yes, it's on point. It's good. Yeah, so good work. So everybody, did you guys go through the whole page? I mean, what we've tried to talk about? John, did you do it? Yeah, so we would want you to explain. How does DAO differ from traditional organization?
Hello, everyone. I just texted above. That the person with the highest token gets to have more power to vote. Mention that, like a parliament, like someone else said, everybody comes together. While the person with the highest vote gets to say or make decisions.
Yes, right.
I'm done.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Oh, wait, there's a knock on my door. One. Sorry, guys. Sorry. My bad. Okay. Yeah. So yes, so we were talking about traditional organization, and I think we have stated like a very simple example of how the school thing works, right? So, talking about the school, there's a head boy, there's a head girl, a certain candidate has been chosen or nominated by the school teachers or the principal, and then you're supposed to vote, but the school will declare the result and give them official titles, right? But in case of DAO, you have the freedom to choose your own set of doing that for you. So for everything that you're trying to do, there's like a proposal, right? And the implementation of the results will happen on chain. That means everything is happening with the help of a code, right? So the decision making, execution, no human interference, it's truly decentralized. The algorithm is doing everything, right? So that's like a very basic example of how DAOs are differing from traditional organizations. Now, for the assignment question that we have in this segment, what are the logical agreements written in a code that DAO utilizes? Anyone? Anyone? Come on, try. John is smiling.
So, because in the comments, smart contracts has already been answered.
Yes,
Just
that's right.
comments.
Yes, that's right. So since we're talking about logical agreements written in code, we're basically talking about the smart contract implementation here, right? See, I'm so smart. My response is smart contract. Now, I hope everyone is following with me till here. Since we have not come across any code as of now, it should not be difficult for you guys to follow, at the same pace as mine. Nobody's going to judge me for the rank that I've achieved in this quiz and that I only got 4 answers right. So it'll give you like, I think 1 minute or so to complete the quiz. You have to make sure that you get like 4 out of the 5 answers correct in order to move to the next segment. Once you are done with the quiz, put a thumbs up in the chat, and then once everyone's done, we can go forward with it, right? Your time starts now. Why is everyone getting a 4 out of 5? Why does no one has 5 out of 5? Can someone elaborate on the last question? Can you tell me what was the last question? Oh, Lynn got a 5 out of 5. See, now she is my favorite student. Lynn, can you help Greg with the last question? It was about real assets. I did this course way back. I don't remember what that question was. Lynn or anybody here who could just, help Greg explaining what that question was. Wow. Even Devashish forgot the question. Nice. Even it was so fast. Decentraland thing, I guess. Oh my God, guys. Real example of a DAO. Oh my God. It feels like I've forgotten all those questions. Okay, is everyone done? I see around 24 people here. And I see only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5 scores. What are the rest 19 people doing? Oh no, 4 are us, 20. Okay, what are the rest 15 people doing? Wayne, did you put your scores? No, it didn't. Lynn did. Tushar, Michael, Sankara, Vishwa, Charanjit, Tirumala, Rishikesh, Moha, Shubham, Manav. Guys, put in your scores and then we'll be going forward. We are the players, you are the referees, and rest are the fans. Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely we are the referees and rest are the fans. I would particularly like to be someone who has fans and not be considered as referees. It makes me feel old. So yeah, now you know which side to go to. Okay, I see a lot of scores coming in. Good. Okay, so I see a lot of people putting in their scores. Obviously, a few of them are still left. You guys, if you want us to wait for some time while you finish, just probably maybe put it in the chat, give us a thumbs up or whatever. So we'll wait for you guys. If you want to do it later, please make sure that you've done it before the next session, which is tomorrow at the same time. Oh, John got a 3 out of 5 again. Man, what are you doing? Why is it a 3 out of 5? Please do not try for the third time. If you don't get like a 4 out of 5 for 2 continuous attempts, your quiz will be locked for the next certain number of hours and you will not be able to move forward with the session. So no random hit and trial answers, please, because if it gets logged, you'll have to wait for a really long time. But I love the enthusiasm that he tried twice. Good work, John. You are in my favorite student list as well. Oh, why is my video not on? Shit, I've been showing thumbs up and all those expressions with my video off. I'm so sorry, guys. Here's the thumbs up. Okay, cool. Anybody else who is left, attempting the quiz and you guys are going to put your scores, we will wait for like 30 more seconds and then we'll move to the next segment. It is going to be a probably hands-on section. How many of you have MetaMask already installed on your laptops? MetaMask? How many of you know what MetaMask is? Okay, cool. Yes. So, okay. So a few people already have MetaMask installed. Good for you guys. You can take some rest by the time. Those who do not have MetaMask installed yet, what you have to do is there is a link in the course that is here, right? So you can download the MetaMask for Chrome, or if you're using any other browser, try searching MetaMask extension for your browser and then open the browser extension, put it, scroll through the networks. Okay, I'll show you how that is done. But firstly, you have to download MetaMask and add it to your extension section here, right? Go to MetaMask and do the whole setup first, right? You will be, asked for a password that you have to set. Once you're done with that, you will be given a secret recovery phrase for your wallet, right? Anybody in the crowd who can explain what a secret recovery phrases? Oh, the Bitcoin holder definitely has that. Oh, they'll have some other wallet. MetaMask. No, it's for developers. It's for developers like us who want to experiment. Other transactions are pretty difficult. It's like Ethereum compatible. So all the networks around Ethereum are listed on MetaMask, and testnet is supported. So good. Bitcoin people will have something else, probably no names taken. Okay. Anybody? Yes. So Tushar answered the question. The 12 words create a hash, which would be our private key. Okay. So in the layman terms, while you set up your MetaMask, you put in a password, right? After that, yes. So Devashish highlighted it. It's the ultimate key to recover the account, must be kept hidden and safe, right? So in case, since we have so many applications need passwords and all of that, it might be possible that we forget a password if we don't write it, right? So here with MetaMask, there is no provision of resetting your password. Instead, you have a 12-word secret recovery phrase which you need to save. Okay, even your best of friends should not know that recovery phrase. And in case you forget your password, these recovery phrases will help you recover your account back, right? So even if you have like millions of dollars in your MetaMask account and you forget the password, as well as you lose the secret recovery phrase, sorry guys, but you're broke now because you cannot recover that account, right? And in case you have those $1 million in your MetaMask account, and then me being the friendly me comes to you, asks you for the secret recovery phrase, and you're like, oh yeah, she's a really nice girl, she teaches well, blah blah blah, I'll give her my secret recovery phrase. I become a millionaire and you become broke again. So the logic here is you don't share the secret recovery phrase even with your closest people. It's supposed to be with you, right? And you need to keep it safe so that in case you forget your password in the future, you can still recover your MetaMask account. Till the time you just have testnet tokens in it, token money, dummy money, it's fine. Make as many accounts as you can. But if you go to hackathons and win something, all of that prize money will come in that wallet, and you need to be very careful with that. So yes, so I hope everyone is done with the MetaMask installation. Quick thumbs up for the people who were trying to do it right now. If you're still in the process, write it in the chat. If you've done it, a quick thumbs up so that we can proceed forward. Okay, so Getson says a thumbs up. Has everyone else done it? Done this before, but I'm skeptical it's the same as this. Yes, MetaMask is the same. The only difference you will get here is that if you're working for the Q blockchain for the first time, you just have to add a Q testnet network, which I will show you right now. I hope everyone can see the MetaMask pop up on my screen. Everyone? Yes. So I will put in my password. Okay. Now, okay. So ideally for people who are doing it for the first time, right, you will be able to see Ethereum mainnet, right? This is the first screen that you will see 0 ETH, right? But since we are developers who are trying to work on a project, all of our transactions will happen on testnet. Okay, on testnet you get these test tokens, which are basically dummy money for you, right? Through which you can perform those transactions, because obviously if you're putting in real money for every project you're deploying, before you become rich you will be broke and you won't be able to do any other project. So you Okay, so you click on Ethereum mainnet, the symbol here, right? And you will see Ethereum mainnet and Linear mainnet, right? There will be a toggle button to show test networks. Please switch it on. You will be able to see other test networks. Now, since I have already added the Q testnet here, I am able to switch to Q testnet. But for people who have not done it, you have to go to the Add Networks section. Is the other part of the screen still visible? Or am I stuck on the Meta School one? Okay, so you can see the MetaMask one, right? And okay, cool. I will minimize this. Yes. So in the end of the screen, you will see an option of add a network manually, right? And if you go here, you will be able to see these set of details. The network name is qtestnet, the RPC URL, the chain ID, the currency symbol, and the block explorer. That's exactly what you need to fill in here, right? In the add network segment. That's exactly what you have to fill in here. And once you click on save, you'll be able to go, you'll be able to see qtestnet network in the, ma'am, please go a little slow and repeat. Okay, cool. Cool. So which part are you stuck on? Which part do you want me to repeat? Rishikesh, from around after showing the wallet. Okay, cool. I will go back here. Okay. So we were talking about MetaMask, right? You have, if you have done the installation, added the extension and everything, right? This will be the first screen that you get to see, which is Ethereum mainnet, right? And along with Ethereum mainnet, you will see Linear mainnet. There is an option of toggle button for show test networks. So you will be able to see certain test networks as well, right? Now, since the Q, okay, so what I'll do is I'll delete the Q testnet here, right? And I will show you how to add a new one. Okay, cool. So we will go to add network. Now, since you cannot see Q here, even if you search, you will not be able to, find it. No matching results found. So go to add a network manually. Now, the first column here is the network name. So you go back to the Meta School screen. The network name here is QTestnet. So you copy, you paste it here, go back again, RPC URL. Okay. Put it here. The chain ID is 35443. Okay, so if you put in the wrong chain ID, it will automatically give you a message that the RPC URL you've entered returned a different chain ID. So the correct chain ID for that chain is this. Now you correct it here. Suggested ticker symbol Q, so you put it here. And block explorer URL is optional. So if you want to put it, you can. If you don't, you can skip it. Now you just paste it here, save, and you will see switch to QTestnet option, and you will be able to see the QTestnet. Now, for most of you guys, this will be 0Q because you have just added the network and you do not have the test tokens in your account. I have previously used it, so there are certain amount of tokens. Now, all of you guys, have you been able to successfully add the Q network? Everyone? Yes. Okay. Greg says yes. Please, guys, please quickly respond in the chat so that we can move to the next segments. Okay. Rishikesh, have you been able to do it? You were facing some issues, right? Not yet. Give me a little time. Cool, cool. Take your time. Go forward. If you have any issues, you can put it in the chat. I'll be looking at the chat. Okay. So those who have been able to add the Q testnet network in the wallet, please go to the testnet link, right? This is the faucet link for Q network. If you click here, you will get an option to either put your wallet address or connect MetaMask with the faucet, right? Now, in order to get your wallet address, you can just go to MetaMask, and this blue thing here with a 0x, like a hex, representation is your wallet address. You can just copy it here, or maybe just connect MetaMask. Finish this. I am a human thing. Okay, this is always the toughest part, I think. Yes. So, and you click on claim Q tokens.
Sneha, your screen is, I think that screen is not visible like this.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, so were these guys able to see when I was claiming the network?
Yeah,
I mean,
think
adding.
the MetaMask part was fine. I think this is a different window. So.
Oh no, it's in the same tab. That's bad. Okay, I will. Can you guys see it now? Oh, it's paused. Actually, it's paused. Okay. Why is it paused? Okay, maybe I'll stop sharing and try sharing again. Okay. Yeah. So now you're able to see everything, right?
Yes.
This is, yes. Okay, cool. So, okay, I see some chats. Nope, not done this before now. Okay. Now it's Rishikesh, are you done with the wallet thing? It's facing. Okay, cool. Yeah. So everyone has added the Q testnet to Q testnet network, right? Now you were supposed to go to the Q faucet. This is what I was trying to explain, that if you go to MetaMask, you have to copy this account address from here, go to the faucet. I've put the link in the chat. Either you paste the account address here or just do a connect MetaMask. Tell the bot that you are a human and verify. Okay, and then click on claim Q tokens. Now, so I have already received Q tokens in the past 24 hours, so I'll have to try again later, but all of you guys can, fill your MetaMask with the Q tokens, and you will be able to see 5 Q tokens once you have successfully completed the faucet part. So once you are done with the, claiming the tokens, please put a thumbs up in the chat. Five Qs, yes, done. Okay, so everyone has got 5 Q tokens. Cool. So for the, okay, so we will be, talking a little bit about Remix IDE as well. It's a development environment that helps us, deploy EVM compatible smart contracts online, right? And we will be doing our first set of Solidity deployment using Remix. I mean, first Solidity smart contract using Remix, right? So before we dive into writing the code for a DAO in Solidity, what we will do is finish the assignment for this section, which is you have to share the screenshot of your wallet filled with 5Q tokens. Only then you can move to the next segment. So quickly take a screenshot of the wallet and with the 5Q tokens in it, and just go forward to the next section where we talk about building our first DAO and adding basic functionalities to it. Anybody who feels the session is getting a little overwhelming and we should just like discuss a little bit for this session and then move the rest of the content to the next section, because it's like a lot of information for you guys to process. If it is so, you can write it in the chat, speak out loud, and we'll work accordingly. I think everyone's busy taking screenshots. Nobody heard my question. Are you guys done pasting the screenshot and getting to the next section? Yes, even that change helps you get easily. So, yeah. As well. Okay, cool. So anybody who feels information overflow, anybody who's like studying anymore, it's a Sunday, please spare us and let us go. John, John is like so serious. Okay, cool. So I think everyone's pretty pumped up. We have 30 more minutes, 25 more minutes in the session. So we will talk a little about DAOs and how the basic functionalities around it will revolve. I'll give you a quick run through the smart contract. I'll tell you what your homework is before tomorrow's session. And then we'll be wrapping up the session for today. Okay? Be a John, everyone. John has fans. Okay, cool. So getting into building your first DAO and adding basic functionalities. Now, a little brainstorming. I will not show you how this section should look like. What according to you should, oh, you've already seen the screen. Very nice. What according to you guys should be the basic functionalities in a DAO? According to your understanding. What do you think? What all functions do we need to put in terms of those functionalities being implemented? John, do some thinking. Okay, so adding members, having discussion, voting platform, creating proposals, votes, etc., etc. Yes. So if it's a DAO, you obviously need to add members. You will have to remove members. You need proposals, you need voting, you need the execution of proposals, and so much more, right? You need to have like a treasury. You have to keep a check on token supply, all of it. So these are some of the basic functionalities that we will be talking about, right? So tomorrow, if I make a DAO, I know that in order to add my favorite human from this session, that is John, as a member in the DAO, I need to have an add member functionality, right? And then if I want to remove someone because, maybe they're not helping me enough, I need to have someone as some functionality as a remove member, right? Whatever decisions we want to go forward, whatever course we want to follow, there has to be like a proposal platform where we create proposals and then vote around it and all of that, right? So okay, one more question. How many of you guys have already written some or the other Solidity contract before? Thanks, everyone. I'm blushing. Oh my God. Okay, Getson has written it. Tirumala has written it. Okay. Tiny bit plus created ERC20 token. Good, good, good. Okay, a lot of people have written it. Saves a lot of my time. So people who have done Solana. Oh my God. There's always one Solana guy in every session. Okay, cool. And our focus should be on Q blockchain today. Q. Okay, so people who have already written Solidity, you guys are going to save me a lot of effort tomorrow. Please be thorough with the DAO smart contract because you will be doing the explaining in tomorrow's session, and I will just sit and relax and hear you guys teach. Okay, so awesome. Cool. So we need this, right? Build your first DAO. We had the remix ID. Oh wait, what? Okay. In the set of MetaMask, we had the remix IDE link, right? So I will everyone can have this open. I will give you a run through of the platform. Just yes, we need a Getson into John collab. Yes, I totally support that. Okay, so if this doesn't work for you guys, if this link doesn't work because there are like certain parameters added here, you can just search for remix IDE and then go to the first one. You'll see a screen like this and you will get an option of remix online IDE. That's how the platform looks like. Okay, even this is slow. Nice. Always happens in one of the most important session, remix or MetaMask or something will stop working. They're like, okay, it's time for you to shut up and end the session. The kids are bored. MVPs. Here. Yeah, too much. Yes, finally. Okay. So this is what our platform would look like. We'll be doing, I think, tomorrow's session on this platform. You'll be able to see a contract segment here, right? And you will see 3 basic smart contracts already there. One of them is one storage, which is like a storage smart contract. The other is owner. And then third is ballot, right? We will be creating our own a QDAO and a Q token smart contract. Don't be scared of the number of lines of code this particular file has. It's very simple. It's everything that we have talked about till now, right? And the basic functionalities that we've been talking about, which is add member, remove member, right? Create proposal. You can see all of those functions, vote yes, vote no, right? So this is where we keep our contract. There will be like a compile option where you compile the contract. If there are any errors, the compile section will tell you that you need to, make changes in these sections, resolve these errors. And then finally, once you deploy the contract here, you'll be able to do like real-time interaction on the platform and see that whatever logic you've written for the particular smart contract is working perfectly fine, right? So that's what the whole platform looks like. And we were here, right? So we've talked about these, right? Now we'll do like a proposal voting. Who thinks that we should start coding today, or do you guys want to, keep the coding section for the next session? Because we anyway won't be able to cover a whole of it. So if you guys want, that you would like to take a look first, and then we can have like a detailed discussion about the code tomorrow, that works fine. Whatever you guys would want to go forward with. Come on, quickly. The chats are open. Could we have a review video? Video? No video. What about making it an upgradable? Because ideas and logics might to need. Yeah, those are upgrade. I'm good with anything. Those are upgradable contracts. A lot of those segments are. I think they've implemented it in the token segment, not in the contract. But what I was asking right now is that, do you guys want to take a look at the contract on your own, and then us diving in the whole coding section tomorrow, since we only have like 15 minutes left, right? Or do you want me to start today and then, have a detailed discussion tomorrow? If that is any other, yeah, let's do it on our own. Okay, Jane wants to do it on his own first, and then we can have a discussion around it. So people who are fine with Jane's idea can, yeah, that's make more sense. Just in case we move the coding for tomorrow, some peeps like me can make the Zoom. Can't make the Zoom tomorrow. Oh, why? Work. Oh my God. That's bad. Oh, but we'll have the session recorded for you. I mean, work is not bad, but all these sessions will be recorded. So you are happy to take a look at whenever you have time, right? But what I would want you to do is that since you have work tomorrow, you take a look at the code. You can see how we have, tried to deep dive into the whole set of into different segments, and then the whole set of code in the next segment as well. Try to understand lines of it. Maybe try writing some lines of it on your own. If you're new to Solidity, it will take a lot of time for you to get familiar with the whole syntax and everything, and you might not be able to write it on your own at first, but it's totally fine. I mean, the first step is to understand these lines of code, and then obviously experiment with it and write and practice more and go forward, right? So cool. So I think a lot of you guys want to, take a look at the code first. Maybe then we can. I've actually done this myself. Yes. So yeah, maybe we can, take a look at the code on your own, and then we can have like a deep dive discussion tomorrow. If you guys have any questions till now, you can ask about it openly. If you have any suggestions how you would want the next of the sessions to go, open to discussion. You have 10 minutes. Free platform. I'm not talking now. No more writing in the chats. Guys, you can speak up.
Hello, what of, I wanted to write in the chat, what of hard hats? Hard hats, is it necessary in this course?
Sorry, your voice is breaking a lot.
Yeah, I said hard hat. Is it necessary in this course?
Yes, it is. It
Now,
is. So for tomorrow's session, you don't need hard hat, right? It will be all around remix and deployment and everything. But in the further segment, since we're going to do a lot of stuff locally in your computers, you need hard hat as the development environment. So they're like certain, yeah, the setup especially. So there are certain installations and everything that we will, put it in Discord as well to make sure that you're ready with those installation before the session and you don't waste your time during the session, right? So don't worry about that. But yes, that is required. Okay, so make sure that you go through these sections, and I hope everyone has done the assignments and the quizzes before this segment. Make sure you go through the code, try attempting the assignment. If you have any doubts, you can ask us tomorrow. We will be deep diving into the code line by line, to see the whole deployment and, move forward with the session. Any more questions? Anybody? See, the faster you answer, the faster you get free on a Sunday and have some other plans and enjoy. Thanks for real. I'm good so far. Thank you for the great session. Thank you, guys. Please make sure to, I know we have not learned very, very heavy in this session, but please make sure you write a Twitter thread or any social media platform thread that you are comfortable. We would prefer Twitter or LinkedIn with whatever learning you have had in the session, and make sure to post those links in the chat in the Discord server so that even your peers can see what type of content you've put in. Right? Entire build week we'll be working on this project, or we'll explore more. So this particular build week is focused on this particular project itself, because we feel that there are a lot of concepts around DAOs, and there is a lot to be covered. This course has been very extensive for the previous builders, so it is focused here, but we are open to ideas for other build weeks for other blockchains that that are there on a platform, and we can pick up any course and just move forward. Maybe you can suggest a project of your own which you think can be completed in a week and would not be very, very extensive for the other set of learners. So you can put it all in the Discord. The team will be available, and we can plan something according to that. But this build week is all around this course. Discord, of course. Yes. Cool. So yeah, please guys, build in public, write threads, put the links in the Discord servers. We will love to give you guys a shout out, retweet it from our accounts and make sure people know that you're learning with us and all of that. Cool. If that's it, everything's done from my end. Setu, if you want to take the stage, go forward, or else we can wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we are good for now. I mean, we have builders ready to build things, explore. So if you have any questions, the Discord chat is always open. You can post your questions there and help each other out. I know there are people who have completed the course. So, if there are any questions or doubts, just help each other out. Other than that, if you have any questions, you can ask in the chat. Otherwise, we can wind up. So yeah, do post your threads, messages and everything on Twitter. We are actually looking. I saw Shubham actually posting a really nice LinkedIn post. Thank you for that. So yeah, stay in touch. We are all everywhere, all social media. So this is cool. So I guess if you don't have any questions, we can wind up for the day. And yeah, let's keep building. Let's keep learning. So yeah, thank you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, bye, bye. You're free to write good things and appreciations about me on the Discord server. That wow, such a great teacher. She's so fun. She's so energetic.